He made some people's, but Carl Walker inexplicably made official team.
Yeah, well, that's it's a mockery, then, isn't it? How has he got in the? He was at England. He was one of England's worst players. How has he got that award?
Because they didn't concede a lot of goals, and that's it. But you're right. Sorry, it wasn't Koundé. But I knew
token, like, because England got to the final, it's a token.
Magnan was in goal, another French player, but Saliba was the, main man in France's defense, and we've got more eyes on him now, people. So we've got to start winning things because Saliba's stock has risen a hell of a lot, and that's the thing with international tournaments. We've just talked about England. We saw how Saka came out of Euro 2021. This year it seems to be Rice when we're talking about Arsenal players and criticism. But you also get moments and experiences like Saliba, whose stock has risen so much in just 6 games that slowly but surely, I mean, if it wasn't for this Lenny Yoro guy that people are chasing right now, we probably have a few bids for Saliba from a couple of major clubs in Europe. But what a player.
That's a blessing for us, actually, that Real Madrid seem really intent on getting this guy that they're battling with Man United for.
Yeah.
I don't think Saliba would be like a target for them, maybe necessarily this summer. I mean, they're looking at Trent, apparently. That came out yesterday. So Madrid are... I mean, it's good that they're finally investing in the team after winning the double. But Saliba is... Man, I love him. We're so lucky to have... I have so much, like... I just get so happy when I think about some of the players we have at our team. Go back 6 years ago, I did not feel this way. Even the ones I liked them, or maybe I loved them, but like not in the same way. I mean, a lot of these players, I'm convinced they're destined for great things at this club. I really believe it, and I just hope we deliver it, because I don't think, as much as I think they're super committed here and now, they know how good they are, and they know that they deserve to win things. One of the great points that's come out of this tournament is how is Bukayo Saka after all this? How is Declan Rice? I know that Saka played in a team that won the FA Cup. He didn't play in that final, but he has won the FA Cup. And I know that Declan Rice obviously won the Conference League and a massive part to play with that in a historic moment for West Ham. But it's also 2 Euro final defeats. For Saka, it's 2 Premier League title races where they've come up just short. That's obviously not on either of those players solely. Of course it's not. But, the closer you get, there's that feeling of, well, it's going to happen for where I am because look how close we're getting. It's also that sense of like, yeah, but now I want it more. And where am I going to get that? And I think it's a massive, massive season for Arsenal. Again, not we must win the Premier League or everyone leaves. But we've got to be lifting silverware. We've got to be pushing City all the way again. We've got to look like one of Europe's elites.
I think we must, James.
With the Premier League in particular.
I think we must win the Premier League this season. Otherwise, shit could hit the fan. Because what you've just said about Saka is so true. 2 Euro finals, 2 seasons just off it. If we have another season like that, I'm not just talking about Saka, but, I start to wonder. I start to think, can I do it here or do I just go over there to do it? We saw that many times in the Emirates era. Players look at their situation at Arsenal. We're not winning the majors. Let me go over there and win it. And, a lot of them were justified. So we need to make sure, in my opinion, we win Premier League ideally, but one of the major honours this season.
But the reason why I think that kind of idea that we need to win to keep Salibas and Sakas is slightly flawed is because, well, it's true, but it's only true as far as we could win the Premier League and they could still go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So done. I've done it.
Yeah. You could win the Prem 2 years in a row, and then if anything, that could trigger the leaving because they're like, well, I've won everything here now, so now it's time for another challenge. So I don't think as fans we should get too caught up in the whole we have to win to keep X player.
I think we do, man.
I could see Saliba going to Real Madrid in 3 years' time, even if he's got.
Fabregas left us, and by his own admission, he looked around and there was only 3 winners. Van Persie left us by his own admission because he went to talk about ambition, and they showed him the bottom line. So when you reach that level of player, and Saliba is
they want to win. They want to win. They want to win trophies. No, I totally get that. And you probably it's probably easier to keep a Saliba if you've won a couple of Prems than if you haven't. But I just think that it'd be a punch in the gut if you win a couple of Prems the next 3 years and then he still leaves.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
You know why that much better for me? Because I know Saliba ain't staying at Arsenal for the rest of his career. I know this. But if you win stuff with him and then you sell him, you're a winning club. You're one of the greatest clubs around. So even if you need to replace him, the market of best defenders in the world are there. But if you come to the point of selling these players when you haven't won anything, then these players will be looking around thinking they've just had Saliba for years. They haven't won anything. Why am I going to? So it's kind of a balance.
Yeah,
You are right.
Guys, it's not about trophies.
Maximize them.
It's not about trophies no more. It's about because we've had Thierry Henry won Premier Leagues, left. Vieira won Premier Leagues, captain of Arsenal and Invincible, wanted to leave.
Champions League.
They've always want that. Yeah. What you've got to do is build a squad that's capable of winning the league and Champions Leagues and continue to do it. And Arsenal are a different thing now. I think the next 6 weeks is the biggest 6 weeks in Arsenal's history. And I'll tell you why, because of the likes of
that every year.
No, I mean this because of the likes of Saliba now. We've got a team that's on the cusp of going all the way. But what I feel now is that Saliba would be sitting on a yacht or his beach or whatever. Same as Saka, same as Rice.
He's got a beach, yeah.
Got a beach. They've got everything, these guys, and they can bring it in. Right, they'll be sitting there and they'll be thinking, right, what are you doing? What are you going to do to bring us to the next level? What is happening? And I think that is something that you've got to show now, ambition. I think at times, maybe in the past, and it's been a thing in Arsenal's history, a little bit of lack of ambition when we've had good sides. Have we gone that extra mile to make sure that we are the elite and whatever?
We have. So
I think the next few weeks, if I was Saliba, you know what I mean? Now, if you like it or you don't, guys, he is the best central defender in Europe now, like, you know what I mean? And he's going to be thinking that, like, you know. So if you're the best, what do you want? You want to be the best. You want to be in the best team. You want to be in the best. So this is what you've got to do now. You've got to provide this for these guys, because we're in a position now where we either kick on and go for these big or we fall off again. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that.
You know, you're not wrong, Lee, because again, on your point, the next 6 weeks sets the tone. So we've just talked about we need to win something next season, but what the next 6 weeks does, and I always put myself in different shoes when forming an opinion. Now, I put myself in Van Pee's, Fabregas's over the years, and many other Nasri's and so on, to understand if you put yourself in Saliba's shoes now, and we have a 6 weeks of underwhelming signings and Man City bring out a big player and whatnot, then the tone is already set, because I can ask myself as William Saliba, say, we've just finished second to this team twice, and they've gone harder in this transfer window than us. That doesn't set a great tone. We need to make sure it's us this year, and us this year starts by getting into the season on a high frequency in terms of vibe, energy, belief, hope, all of that. And the next 6 weeks will set that tone.
That's going to be hard to do, though. And sorry to pour cold water on it, right? But because we are not going to have Ramsdale, Raya, Rice, Saka,